As a member of the regional group of independent TDs, I believe it important that the Perjury bill originally introduced by Senator Padraig O'Cady and which lapsed with the 32nd Dáil be reinstated, and I'm glad to hear the Minister say that it is to be restored to the Dáil order of business. Someone once said, "Never argue with someone who believes their own lies." That mantra should never be allowed in our legal system. Perjury is an offence. It is, in essence, lying for personal gain or advancement, and it is rarely a victimless crime. It inflicts damage on our economy, our social fabric, our society, our way of life. Although a common law offence, it has always been difficult to prosecute. It arises in civil disputes, family law cases, compensation claims, tribunals, and often where a deposition or an affidavit is given. We have all heard of court comments where the veracity of statements, evidence and testimony has been questioned by judges, but we rarely hear of follow-up for wilful and deliberate misleading of courts or the deliberate attempt to extort compensation for personal financial gain. The issue of insurances has been brought up here tonight, and one of the other deputies referenced Pat McDonough's business, which was on national TV. I think we can also remember the staged car crashes that have taken place in this country over past years, extorting monies again through insurance fraud. Family law cases too are not exempt from perjury, where people are making statements diminishing their means so as to avoid payments that they should be making. Where witness or evidential statements are made that are clearly untrue or contrived, are proven to be so but are not prosecuted, that diminishes our rule of law and it encourages others to follow suit. Swearing a false affidavit in a personal injuries action was codified as a criminal offence in Section 14 of the Civil Liability in Courts Act 2004. Review of prosecutions in the years since reveals minimal prosecutions have taken place for this offence. We must expect and demand more from our judiciary, also from our insurance industry. We also need to ask insurance to accelerate a book of quantum to look at the compensation payouts that are occurring, as insurance is one of the major stumbling blocks for businesses in the year 2020 and beyond. Deliberate lies made under oath or through affidavit can have a terrible lifelong consequences for those who they are made against. Exaggerated and false personal injuries claims place onerous burdens on businesses, public bodies, homeowners, motorists and insurers in the state. Any entity can be found legally liable where no liability should exist, but for the act of perjury being perpetrated against them. As said, it is never a victimless crime, and this motion tonight attempts to bolster our laws to ensure that our courts deliver just outcomes, not unjust rewards. I commend this motion to the House, and I hope that, adopted on the Dáil order paper, the resulting legislation will empower insurance companies to properly test the veracity of damages claims before deciding appropriate compensation. I hope it will stimulate our judiciary, our DPP and our Gardaí to vigorously pursue those proven to have laid false evidence and defend those who are the victim of it. I hope it will lead to higher standards and examination of evidence in our court rulings to provide more equitable outcomes for those pursuing a claim or a just finding. And most of all, I hope that it will send a message in this state that lying under oath has consequences, that it is a criminal offence and that it will be prosecuted. Garamagat.